Good morning, friends. Welcome to Going on Daily Live. I'm your host, Becky, here with Mr. Chuck Allen. Good
Good morning, everybody.
morning. It is a Monday, Thanksgiving Day in Canada. So,
Ooh.
yay for Thanksgiving. It's not anything like you guys do in the States, but you know, we've had some meals, some good family get togethers. So, it's been a nice weekend. Most people
Well,
don't
let
work
me
today.
ask you this, Becky. When you say it's not anything like the American Thanksgiving, tell me a little bit about this. What are the differences? Do you guys like have a giant turkey that you do, or is there like some other kind of
Yeah, some
tradition?
people do. We did turkey this year. Actually, both sides did turkey. It's basically just like a quick together for dinner. I mean, it maybe other families do it differently, but I know in the States, Thanksgiving really kicks off your holiday season, right? It's like the kickoff to Christmas.
Oh,
You have
yeah.
the huge Black Friday. It's almost like Thanksgiving is bigger than Christmas in the States. Here, it's just a holiday. Monday's just off,
Well,
you know.
hey, that's a good enough reason to take the day off and
Mhm.
enjoy it and be thankful for that because who's not thankful for a day off? I'm over here
Oh,
right now pretty much contemplating that I'm taking the day off today too because it's Canadian Thanksgiving
yeah, that's
and
right.
I need to celebrate something because I got like 2 hours of sleep and
Oh
I didn't get in
no.
until 2 o'clock this morning. So I'm
Why?
kind of artificially energized, but even that's not working very
Well,
well.
what were
So,
you doing last night that kept you up so late? Hot
well, now
date?
this is an
Tinder?
exciting story right here. Okay. One of my friends, his name's Rodney Lawson. I'll even call him out on the
Okay,
air
all right.
today, live. Rodney
Mhm.
Lawson. Yesterday was his 60th birthday, and
Oh.
he lives about 5 hours away from me.
Mhm.
So had to drive 5 hours to get there
Wow.
and 5 hours back. And most of my day was spent in the car, but hey, it could have been worse. Didn't rain, everything was nice, and I just didn't get that much sleep. And I also am having a pretty bad allergy day, so it's
Brutal.
brutal over here in Texas. Like you go outside and there's just like a layer of pollen on the car. My black car is yellow. And it's
Yuck.
like, man, I don't know where all that stuff's going, but I'm pretty confident that I breathed in a lot of it. And
Yeah.
just being here right now is borderline heroic, folks. I'm just saying. Just
Chuck,
saying.
modern day hero. Surviving the elements.
Tired and allergenic or allergic. And I'm
Allergenic.
still here to do my best to entertain the folks.
I mean, you could be where I live. Today is 25 degrees Fahrenheit. For
That'd be
anyone,
so awesome. Oh my God.
what?
We were talking about this the
I'm
other
sorry, what?
day.
No,
I met
awesome.
these guys here that were, they came in from Denver
Hmm.
and I was playing golf on Saturday and you just get randomly paired up with
Yeah, of course.
random folks. I make friends over there all the time. Well, these two
Yeah, I
guys were
can
from
imagine.
Denver and it was 89 in San Antonio on Saturday, which actually is quite enjoyable. I'm not going to lie. Like
Mhm.
that's pretty cold compared to what I'm used to. And these guys were just complaining the whole time, like, "Oh my god, it's so hot."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Dude, just because Denver is cooler doesn't mean it's actually cooler." And I was like, "You guys are you're looking kind of weak out here." And they got the drift, and they're like, "You know what? 89 is comfortable. It's a dry heat." And I convinced them that our weather was awesome, even though our weather sucks.
Right. I mean, 89 sounds awesome. To do the conversion, let's see, that's about 30 degrees. That's like our hot summer day. Right now for Canadians, it's minus 3 degrees Celsius, 25 degrees Fahrenheit.
25 degrees Fahrenheit, folks. That's not
It's only October. What's happening here? I was on a beach like 3 weeks ago.
I right. I literally, I mean, I'm excited that it's only going to be a high of 89 today. It's like not even going to get back into the 90s for like a couple weeks, I don't think.
What,
So,
really? You get 90s in October, in November?
oh my god, it was like 97 this time a week ago.
I'm so jealous.
It's nothing to be jealous of, trust
Well,
me.
you know
I would
what,
trade
Chuck?
right now and I'd be like 25, you're sounding good.
Yeah, but enjoy like 4, 5, 6 weeks of or months of that. You wouldn't. You
No,
would
I
miss
wouldn't.
your
I would hate that after a while, but it's like and also if it was 25 here, like none of my guys are going to work. My guys call in
Yeah.
when it gets below like 60. They're like, it's
Oh, really?
cold. I don't know that it's going to work. And it's like,
60? That's like a nice summer day.
exactly.
Well, like a spring into summer day. That's like 15 degrees. That's hot.
It's
Oh,
Christmas Eve here in San Antonio, Texas,
see,
89 and
and
sunny.
that does it for me. I would 100% move to a climate like that. I'm all about it. I said to my kid the other day, in no way do I ever need snow. Again, I don't need Christmas to have snow. I don't need it
No.
to make it nostalgic. I don't need, a beautiful Christmas tree. No, I need a palm tree and I need a tan. That's what I need.
You would think that you would miss
No,
snow.
I
And
would not.
that's one of the biggest misconceptions about me is people are like, oh, I
Right,
bet you
because you're
miss
from
having all
Ohio.
that snow and all that. And it's like, no, I don't. I've literally never thought about snow again since I left it. And
Right.
it's like, if it snows in San Antonio, we got bigger problems
Yes,
because
absolutely.
I don't think it's
There we
supposed
go.
to snow here.
This is how I feel most days.
Yeah, that'd be cool for like the morning. If I could get up in the morning and it was like 30, 35, I could go for
No,
my
you would
morning
hate
run
it.
outdoors. And then it
No.
just like stays about 60 all day. I'd be happy.
Yeah, that's like Hawaii weather. Should we all move to Hawaii, Chuck?
I
You
think
know,
that's a good idea. I
I
like
think I'm
Hawaii. I
down.
almost died there once.
Well,
Yeah,
save
it
it
was
for next week,
it was
Hawaii week.
fun.
Okay, well, we have a really good show today. We're kicking off, actually, I think yesterday they kicked off Explorer Week. But if you don't watch it on the weekends, let me fill everybody in. It is Explorer Week. Last week was Cheese Week. The week before was Fall Week. The week before was Hometown Week. We are just, I don't know,
We're
keeping it
coming up
fun
with cool
around here.
themes and we're
Yeah.
maximizing them to their fullest.
Exactly. We are. So we're talking about exploration of different sorts. Someone asked if they could do the Ford Explorer. I don't know if that counts. Dora the Explorer.
She's a real person.
I guess it counts. I'm not doing that topic, but maybe you are.
I'm not doing Dora the
No, okay.
Explorer. I
Well,
can
no.
assure you of that.
Well, why don't you tell us about your weird exploration fascination?
Okay,
Is it
so check
kink?
this out.
Are we
I
getting
found out
kink
the other
shame
day
you
that
today?
it's Exploration Week
Hmm.
here on Going On Daily, and we're all going to come up with a cool topic about exploration. And
Hmm.
this is the time when I have to come clean about something. And only a few people know this, but the people that know realize that it's pretty severe. I have an obsession with YouTube videos of people exploring abandoned stores, hotels,
Really?
shopping malls, theme parks, and I can literally sit and waste hours watching people like walk into,
Mm.
we're at this abandoned Family Dollar in Bell Fountain, Ohio, everybody, and they like have to like break into it because it's all nasty, and like you walk in and sometimes the stuff is like exactly how they left it. I saw
Yeah.
one the other day about a casino, and it's like they shut the doors at noon and like nobody ever came back. And it just looks
Oh,
like everybody left at noon and like
and
everything
that's
was still
that.
there.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly fascinating to me because I have this real strange like fascination, I guess, with old restaurants and shopping malls. And
Those
you watch
restaurants
the
too.
ones from the
Interesting.
malls, and a lot of
The
the
malls are
malls where I
cool.
grew up in are no longer. They got
Yeah.
demolished because they were old. Didn't seem old to me, but different story. And I was watching a video the other day about the Westland Mall in Columbus, Ohio, which is where I was born and raised.
Okay.
And that was the mall that I went to as a kid, but it was like completely dilapidated. Like the ceilings
Hmm.
were collapsing. There was like all this stuff was stolen from inside the mall, but they're going through the mall and it's like, man, I remember back in the day when we used to go to the Orange Julius right there. It's
Mm.
now like some crazy gang sign with like all the windows smashed
Naturally,
out.
of
And
course.
I've really taken a liking to this. And there's some characters who I think are like the modern day Christopher Columbus type people
Oh, don't
that
get
go
one
and
started.
commit to these videos, right? Like they sneak
Right.
into abandoned theme parks or abandoned baseball stadiums that are like, on the borderline of being, health hazards. And they
Right.
take this video for us. And to
And you
me,
love
when
that.
we saw Explorers, it was like, these are the guys and gals that do not get enough credit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to bring to light the fact that there are tons of YouTube channels where explorers just like randomly jump in their Pontiac Sunfire, drive over to some little town in
That's true.
Pennsylvania, get out and say, y'all, we're going to look at this abandoned McDonald's. And you can walk into an abandoned McDonald's and you don't catch any of the airborne diseases. You don't have to, potentially walk in something that you don't want to step in or see some kind of live animal that you don't want to see. And I think
Maybe,
these
maybe
people are
not.
heroes.
A question for you though, like what's the end game for these people? Like, what are they expecting to see in an old McDonald's?
I don't know, but like I've never been disappointed by any of it. Like
Oh, okay.
they've never found like millions of dollars, but it's always like, hey, check this out. Here's a
Hmm.
quarter pounder with cheese that was left sitting on the counter 25
Not
years ago.
rotten at
And it
all.
looks
Still
exactly the
edible.
same.
Yeah,
Or
right.
you
Yeah.
could go through and see some of the like some
Bicycle
of the
man.
reservations for old hotels.
Yeah,
Hotels are like one of the
that's cool.
best because
Hotels are awesome because some seedy stuff goes down in hotels.
every
Death,
single hotel, I don't
sex,
care what anybody
affairs,
says,
drugs,
yeah,
rock and roll,
something
all the
nasty
things.
has happened at all of them. And
Yes.
I was on a trip yesterday and we're driving through this small community and it was like, I don't remember the name of the hotel, but it was one of those.
It was seedy.
And I noticed that there was like one car that was in the parking lot at like 2:30 in the afternoon on a Sunday. And I was just like, you know what? What decisions did you have to make in life to where you're in that room at that hotel at 2:30 on a Sunday afternoon, watching football or whatever you're doing? But it's like, I just, I don't know. Decisions were made, but then you go back years later when that thing's been abandoned and you watch the videos of it and it's like, oh, okay. Those were actually pretty nice beds. It looked like it was comfortable and maybe they were just enjoying that plush, whatever you want to call that hotel.
Hmm. There was a old hospital here where I live. It was called the Charles Camsell Hospital, and it would always have videos made there, people breaking in, paranormal investigation, things like that, because it used to be, gosh, I'm trying to think now, was it a polio? No, well, not polio. God, I'd have to look
Polio.
into this. No, it's not that. But there was a lot of like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like they had a lot of like native indigenous people there back in the day. They were not treated very well. Excuse me. They were not treated super well. It is said to be haunted. And so a lot of people would go and do their explorations there. It was highly secured, but people would still break in and find a way. And it was very cool to watch these videos online. They have since turned it into an apartment building. In no way do I want to live there.
Yeah,
Apparently, the
come
rent
on,
is quite
everybody.
cheap. And I don't know, maybe people are seeing stuff. Maybe they're not. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it would just depend on what's the rent, risk
Well,
versus reward in that
fair.
situation, I guess.
This is fair. Rod says the Howard Johnson Motor Lodge. Yeah, we got a couple of creepy ones like that too. That'd be a good one. That would be like bring your black light. If you catch my
Oh,
drift.
I stayed in a hotel one time. It's long been torn down. This is a
Mm,
crazy little story, and I'll just share it real quick.
okay.
So I was going to a NASCAR race in the Pocono Mountains with my buddies. And this was back in the day when NASCAR was like really popular and now you can just go there and like half the thing's empty. It's not as cool as it
Yeah.
used to be. But back then it was like lots and lots of people. So we just got in the car one day and we drove like 8 hours to the Poconos and just kind of took it for granted that there'd be a hotel room.
Hmm.
Well, there was no hotel rooms to speak of. There
I
were
know, of
no
course.
hotel
Yeah.
rooms, I should say.
Yeah.
And we're at this last place, and the lady's like, y'all are not going to find any hotel rooms. Well, there might be this one, but I don't recommend it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that sounds
I don't
encouraging.
recommend
Give
it.
us the name of that place and we'll go see what's up. So we get this name, and it was called the Stone Castle Motel in the Poconos.
I mean,
And
sounds
look it up.
nice. The
There was
Stone
actually a
Castle.
murder that went down there, and yeah, we found out about the history of the Stone Castle. But this thing was so bad
No.
that when we got there, I almost decided to sleep in the car in the parking lot
No.
rather than sleeping in the room.
Yeah.
But we get in there and it was like a throwback to the 60s, maybe early 70s. Like everything was like in a time warp.
No.
Everything was exactly like it should have been. And I think we were the only people in the Stone Castle Motel that night. We go in and the guy gives us like an index card, you know, those
Yeah.
little, and he's like, write your name and address down. And of course, you're like, oh, John Doe, you know,
Yeah, like,
123
no, thank
Sesame
you.
Street, whatever. And I think the thing was like $15. We had to split it three ways. It was $5 a piece. And it ended up being one of the worst days of my entire life the next day because we went to the race and I didn't take a shower in the Stone Castle Motel because
Because,
I
ew, yeah.
just didn't feel like it
Of
was
fungus,
clean.
yes.
Yeah, I felt like I was more clean without the shower than I would have.
I
And we
will sit
slept
in my
above
own
the
filth
bed and
first,
it was it
yes.
was horrific.
I've
But I
stayed
go
in my
back and I'd
filthy
like to
bed.
see like a Stone Castle Motel before it was torn down and just kind of be like, hey, I was there. I was in that room right there where three people were brutally murdered back in 1983 and they didn't bother telling you. But
Yeah,
that's what I
right.
love about the internet is you can be
Yeah,
an
and that's
explorer
perfect.
without ever leaving your couch.
That's
And
true.
I've explored some pretty crazy things. I love restaurants, I love shopping malls and old defunct retailers. So there
Well,
you
Ron
go.
had wrote Kmart and Zales. I mean, Kmart would be good if you found like old clothes and stuff,
Oh,
bedding.
Becky,
You could live there. Old
you already know I got
crackers.
this Kmart thing, but there's probably 5,000 videos of people going to abandoned Kmarts. It's like
Yeah.
one of the most
Oh, it's
popular ones
popular.
that they go look
Really?
at. And it's like,
Really?
yeah, Toys R Us as well. There are quite a few of those.
That's so
And it's
interesting.
just, yeah. I made
Hmm.
an exploration video one time of the North Wilkesboro Speedway in North Carolina. And then, like 10 years later, they completely renovated it and reopened it. It was crazy. It sat
Hmm.
still for like 25, 30 years.
That's
And I
wild.
got I just pulled up to it one day, knocked on the door, and the greenskeeper took me on a tour of the entire facility. And
No
it was
way.
like, I made a video of it and it promptly got like
Cool.
6 views and that was the end
Perfect.
of my filmmaking career. I
Yeah, right.
realized nobody's looking for the stuff that I find interesting.
I think it sounds cool. I want to watch that.
Yeah, it was good. North Wilkesboro Speedway. It was pretty stellar.
Ron says maybe you can take a plane and explore Epstein
I
Island.
think I'm all right on that. Like I really don't want to explore that.
No,
I'm
no.
I'm good.
So I'm like such a conspiracy theorist, as you will see later on in today's show. But I, had my in-laws over here on Saturday for Thanksgiving, and we were talking, and I'm like, yeah, Hollywood pedo, pet. That's a man. That's whatever. And we we're talking about Epstein Island, and my father-in-law, he's so sweet, but he was like, are you sure that these celebrities knew why they were going there? Like maybe they just thought, oh, we're famous, like we're going on a
Yeah, we're just
vacation.
going to hang out on an island
We're
and
like, no, they're going to rape children. Like
pretty
pretty
sure they
sure.
had an idea what they were
Fairly sure
getting
they do.
into.
And he's like, are you sure? Like maybe they just thought it was like a tropical retreat. Like, no, they could go
Every
literally
single one of
anywhere.
them fell for it, and nobody
Literally
ever bothered to
everyone in the
tell the
world.
others.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I did some bad stuff this week. Don't tell my friends.
Yep, and
Keep it
don't
a
tell anybody
secret.
what's going on Epstein Island, just in case,
Yeah. Yeah.
Waka waka.
I would not like to go to Epstein Island. Thank you, Ron, for the suggestion. We will be passing on that.
Fly over it with a B-1 bomber or something, and that'd be my
Yeah.
solution to that problem.
It's just unfortunate to like destroy a beautiful piece of property, but it's like there's so much badness
Yeah, it
there.
doesn't have any good karma. Like nobody's gonna go there for
Right.
vacation. So if you're gonna
Yeah,
get
they're
rid
like,
of it,
it's gentrified.
might as well
The
get rid of it.
gentrified Epstein Island. Hmm. Sorry, I needed a water break before we get to our social media promo here. That takes
Nice.
me a little bit of a mouthful here. So you are watching Going On Daily Live. We are currently live on multiple platforms. Oh boy, we got lots now. We are live on Twitter. Twitter seems to be a good one for us. Okay. X/Twitter, broadcasting RI. We are on Twitch at RI underscore broadcasting. You can definitely support the show there with bits as well. They're only a penny. We are also live on Kick, YouTube, and Rumble at Rhode Island Broadcasting. We currently have 7 on Twitter. That makes me very happy. I don't know why Twitter is so much more popular, but we got up to 55 likes the other day. And then with JJ and I, like at 30 something, or views, sorry, which is awesome because that's a brand new platform for us. So I'm very excited about that. If you can't watch us live at 10 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Central Time, then you can listen to us after the fact. We are on Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, which is Chuck's favorite,
Yeah.
and iHeartRadio at RI Broadcasting. You can also follow us on 55 different social media platforms like MeWe, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Space Hey, Parlor, Gab, at RI Broadcasting. And then, of course, on Patreon, you can get yourself some merch, some swag, support the show at RI Broadcasting. And then, of course, still on Twitter at RI or Broadcasting RI. Facebook, maybe Facebook's your jam. You can watch us over there at Going On Daily Morning Show. Now, we can't go live yet. We still need X amount of viewers over there or follows to be able to go live. So make sure that you follow us on Facebook, Going On Daily Morning Show, so we can start going live again on Facebook. Now, you can support the show by going to our website at rhodeislandbroadcasting.net, where you can vote for the Hall of Fame for that current month.
Ooh.
Right now, we are voting for 80s TV shows. Cheers, Happy Days, The Golden Girls, MASH, Married with Children. Ron, where are we at with the numbers for this month? We're about halfway into the month. Who's in the lead?
I'm thinking the Golden Girls have got to be leading this. Gotta be.
Cheers, though, has a bit of a cult following. Oh, yeah, Golden Girls, nice. But Golden Girls seems to have had this weird resurgence of popularity amongst multiple age groups, not just
Everybody loves the
geriatric.
Golden Girls. They're timeless and they're ageless. And I was actually at the store the other day and I was walking down one of the aisles where they have craft beer. And they had like 3 that were themed after the Golden Girls. Like,
what, really?
Boom. One was called like "Thank You for Being a Friend." One was something with the golden, but it was them. It was their faces on the beer cans, and it was like,
that's hilarious.
Those ladies would be proud to know
around
that they're carrying
to see
that
it.
on.
Exactly. Gosh, that's so funny. Well, go ahead and vote for whoever you think is the best 80s show. Again, Cheers, Happy Days, Golden Girls, MASH, Married with Children. My vote is for Golden Girls all day long. Granted, I should watch the other ones to give them, a real chance, but I've already voted, so.
Married with Children was my initial,
funny,
but if the Golden Girls win, I'm totally cool with that. And I think that this has the potential, without even seeing the numbers, I feel like this has the potential to be an absolute runaway. I feel like the Golden Girls could lay the smackdown on everybody else here. And
I quite honestly, I think the people who were watching MASH and loved it at the time are not the people listening to this podcast, if I'm honest.
Yeah. MASH was kind of like up in the, and that was like in the early days. Like,
but I heard it's a good show. My parents liked it.
MASH was sweet. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. You can't compare MASH to the Golden Girls. It's 2 completely different things.
Totally different. Exactly.
Yeah. So Cheers and Married with Children, I think, are fair. Look at the 11 now on X, Twitter. I got to get to 55 at least. Last week I was not here, and it was like the most popular episode in history.
Hey, start showing some skin, baby.
Right.
You got those ripped abs from all that walking, all that exercising. Your 4 a.m. gym it must be paying off for you.
I just wasted that though. I haven't been eating very well lately. Like yesterday, I was at my buddy's birthday party, and they had 6 different types of cake.
Not one.
How do you know which one's your favorite if you don't try all 6?
Yeah, that's it's fair. You're just doing your due diligence, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly. German chocolate was the winner, and
that would not be my choice.
Not mine either normally, but
it was
different. Something special.
Interesting. I ate like absolute trash all weekend. Naturally, I had two Thanksgiving dinners. I make this like cream pierogi dish that is like I don't even want to look at the macros on that. It's probably just like through the roof, but it is so good.
Yeah, you
Super
can't
good.
even go wrong with that. Like
No, how can you?
pierogies, I mean, you can put ketchup on them and it's like, yeah, that's good.
Oh, I wouldn't. Ew, I
I
don't even
know,
know if
but
I
you
have ketchup in
could.
my house.
I say that from previous experience. You
Mhm.
could do that. It's not as bad as it seems.
It is. It truly is. I mean, I guess if you crisped it up in the frying pan so they had like almost like a hash brown texture,
Exactly. We're on
maybe,
the same page.
but I would never hate ketchup. Ketchup's disgusting.
Really?
Unless it's on a hot dog or a hamburger, I can handle that.
We got this Whataburger. It's called spicy ketchup.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that would probably be the one that you would like. If you're gonna
Mm,
like any ketchup, it would
yeah.
be that one.
Like if it's, I don't know, like fancy for sure. If it's just like Heinz ketchup, no thank you. Oh,
It,
and it's not even that ketchup itself is so bad. I just don't think it's like on French fries. Why are you
not a
doing that?
huge
French fries
ketchup
good.
guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I sometimes if I
Hmm.
go to the fast food and they're like, "Would you like any ketchup?" and I'm usually like, "No, I'm
Yeah,
good."
no, keep it. Yuck. What am I
Give
gonna
it to the
drive
next
and do it
guy.
at the same time? No.
Yeah, as I'm driving. That's a whole other story.
Exactly. Oh, well, here's another story that I think you're gonna really like. It is a explorer story, a story of
Oh,
crazy survival and exploration. Yeah, that's right. You got the background. Perfect. I was even gonna change my background, but maybe it's not necessary. But I'm gonna do it and see what it looks like here
let's
for everybody.
see.
And if I'm laggy, I
Only one
super
way to
apologize.
know, and that is to find out. Oh,
Okay, hold on. Let me get my big head out of here. Very cool, right?
I'm assuming that this gentleman's name is Shackleton.
Shackleton, Ernest Shackleton. So, this is a true and very fascinating story about history's most daring, well, one of history's most daring explorers, Ernest Shackleton, whose Antarctic exploration turned into one of the greatest survival stories ever told.
Uh
So,
oh.
I love this. So, yesterday, not sure, I don't think you tuned in yesterday. So, Kenny happened to say Christopher Columbus yesterday. Well, Ron went off for a good segment about what a piece of trash Christopher Columbus was.
Oh
So,
man.
for his fake exploration and how he treated people really poorly and how he was just supposed to go to India, but he ended up in North America and blah blah blah. You're right. Not he's not someone to be revered by any means, but I think this guy is. Okay, like I think we
All
should
right.
talk more about. And I didn't know much about him. I've heard about him on occasion, but never to the same as Christopher Columbus, right? Marco Polo. Like you don't hear much about Ernest Shackleton, but you should because he's crazy.
Today's the first time I've ever heard of this gentleman. I'm
Yeah.
very excited to
Well, I'm
learn.
delighted to share it with you.
Yeah.
So in 1914, as Europe was descending into World War One, a British explorer named Sir Ernest Shackleton, I don't know what earned him Sir status, but Sir Ernest Shackleton set out on what he called the Imperial Transarctic Expedition. His goal was crazy to be the first person to cross the entire Antarctic continent on foot. This sounds like something you would do. You're like, I'm just
Crazy.
aiming for 200 miles today in the Antarctic
Just gonna
by
cross
foot.
the entire continent. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. It's not like it's minus 60 there or anything. So he was going to go from the Weddell Sea to the Ross Sea, a journey which is about 1,800 miles through one of the most hostile environments on Earth, as we know, Antarctica. Very cold, snowy, not a lot of vegetation.
Yeah, definitely not paradise.
No, certainly not. Not my first choice. Like you hear about people doing, I don't know, bike trips from like Arizona, Alaska to Argentina. That would be cool. You get a lot of warmth there, maybe a lot of cold too once you get down. Like when you're up high and when you're down low, you got a lot of snow, but in the middle, you got a lot of sun. Sounds more like it.
I can handle
Anyways,
that.
yeah, right. Ernest and his 27 crewmen set sail aboard his ship called the Endurance,
All
named for the
right.
family motto on his coat of arms: By endurance we conquer. I like that. It turned out to be almost prophetic for him because in early 1915, the Endurance became trapped in a dense sea of ice, frozen, and it was fast moving. It was unable to move.
Mm.
So for months, the crew just lived aboard the ship, drifting slowly north with the ice. And I feel like north is not the direction you want to go. I feel like it's probably east or west that you want to do if you're exploring Antarctica. But
I would think, yeah.
so they hunted seals and penguins for food. Oh my gosh! Just
All
like
right.
I'm picturing like a bird like on a
A cute
spit,
little penguin
but it's
that's
a
got like a
penguin,
top hat on, you know. They're
yeah,
clubbing him.
right? Terrible.
Terrible.
But I mean, they had to survive, so I guess I understand. They kept up with their morale by singing songs, playing games. They even had a pet. Her name was Mrs. Chippy, and she was a cat.
There you
So,
go, Mrs.
yeah,
Chippy. Talk
why
about an
someone
innocent victim.
totally like why someone would bring a cat on this exploration, I have no idea. But she was there, Mrs. Chippy. So, in October of 1915, the pressure of the shifting ice then crushed the Endurance's hull. Ernest Shackleton ordered the crew to abandon ship. Can you imagine? Hey, just get out in this freezing cold ice
Come on,
water.
guys. Let's go for a swim.
Yeah, exactly. It's an ice bath, an eternal ice bath. As the Endurance sank beneath the ice, Shackleton told them, "Ships and stores have gone, so now we go home." The simple statement became the crew's guiding mission for the next 17 months. 17 more months, because you can't just get an airplane, right? Not
Nope.
then,
There's
not in
no Uber out
1915.
there.
Yeah. They camped on the ice, dragging lifeboats and supplies across the frozen sea in temperatures reaching minus 40 Celsius, which is about minus 40 Fahrenheit also. It's cold.
No, that's
Okay, it's
not
freezing.
fun.
When the ice finally broke apart, Shackleton ordered everybody into the lifeboats and navigated through brutal seas to reach a desolate place called Elephant Island. It was the first solid ground they'd seen in 497 days.
Nah,
Crazy,
I'm
right?
good.
But Elephant Island was so far from rescue. Shackleton made an unthinkable decision. He would take a small lifeboat, and the small lifeboat had a name also because, as boats do, it's called the James Caird.
All
And
right.
he sailed for 800 miles across the stormiest ocean on Earth, the South Atlantic, to reach a whaling station on South Georgia Island. Now, I didn't look into that. Is South Georgia Island like Georgia in the States, or is it somewhere? Because I mean, it would make sense if he was just going north. Ron, look this up for us. South Georgia Island.
We need to know where that's at.
Yeah, we need to know. I need to know the direction of where he went. Now it said like the South Atlantic, which would make sense because the Atlantic surrounds the states on that east side, but I don't know. So with 5 men, barely any navigational tools, and a half rotten boat, after having
Like the
gone
odds.
800 miles. It wasn't a yacht. It was probably like a rickety old sailboat here. Well, it's a lifeboat, right? They set out into these towering waves. After 16 days of freezing storms, near starvation, they miraculously sighted South Georgia. Then Shackleton and 2 others trekked 36 hours nonstop over the island's unmapped glacier covered mountains to reach help. Four
At
months
that
later,
point, it's like, you know what?
just
I'm
die.
good.
Just let
Help.
a bear get you.
Yeah,
Like, just
help. Come on,
sacrifice
guys.
yourself to nature. I know, right? 4 months later, Shackleton returned back to Elephant Island, where everybody was, and rescued every single one of his men, and not one person died. I'm sorry, how do you survive minus 40 and not die?
Congrats to Mr. Shackleton. Midway through the story, I was questioning this guy a little bit, and I was like, you know, I understand why he doesn't get the love because he abandoned his people, but
No,
also I
he
have
didn't.
to wonder, like, at any point during this journey, were any of these folks on the ship like, you know what, man? I don't think
Mhm.
Shackleton knows what's up. Like, we're out here in the middle of a glacier. Like, why are we
Totally.
listening to this fool? But then it comes full circle,
Why are we
and
listening to this
he
fool?
ends up being the savior of everybody. And
Totally.
they all got that funny story. They could sit around Thanksgiving
Yeah.
and be like, hey, you guys remember that time we spent 497 days at sea
Freezing. Yeah,
with old Shackleton? And hey,
totally.
Shackleton, you're a hero, my friend.
He is a
I'm sure
hero.
he's long gone, judging by the picture.
Well, I
He's
would imagine,
probably
yes.
been
I
gone for a couple years.
I googled Elephant Island. So if you look at Antarctica, there's a little tip that goes up like almost directly under South America. where that Argentina tip is. It's very, very close to Elephant Island, right here. So, I mean, that's no joke. It's not a warm place to live by any means. I didn't look up where South Georgia. Is that what it was? South Georgia Island?
South Georgia Island. Like,
I didn't
I
look that
wouldn't
up.
think that there would be an island in Georgia that would be accessible from.
Well, and why there, right? Like, why not Mexico, like Cancun?
I
You
mean,
know, we're just
Georgia's
going to look
cool.
this up. Let's
Georgia's
just
a
look
nice
this up
place. It's
here.
just,
Okay,
if
so
I was
it's in the.
exploring, I don't think I'd be shooting for South Georgia.
It is not Georgia. Okay, sorry to tell you here. It's an island in the South Atlantic Ocean. It's part of the British Overseas Territory of South Georgia and South Sandwich Islands. It lies around
Oh,
870 miles east of the Falkland Islands. So let me just pull up a map here and take a look where it is. We are doing some geography here today, my friends. Okay, it's
exploration week.
literally in the middle of the ocean. So picture the tip of South America at Argentina and Chile. Go directly east. It's just in the middle of the
Just
ocean there,
hanging out.
just hanging out. So yeah, not in any way Georgia. That would have been a long trip up to
And it would have been a
USA,
strange
Georgia.
destination. Like,
Yeah.
even in modern times, I don't know a lot of people that are like, hey, let's go to Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we got run. Okay. All right. Yeah,
Showing us
right there. It's
exactly
not
where
super
we're
zoomed
at.
in, but yeah, you figure Antarctica, that little tip is there. And
All
then the
right.
Argentina tip is there. And then they kind of meet in the middle, and that's where South Georgia Island is. And then right at the little tip of Antarctica, that's where the Elephant Island is. So that's 800 miles. It doesn't seem very long. It is. It's insane.
800
And keep in
miles is
mind,
pretty far. Yeah.
this is the rockiest part of the ocean. Okay, the biggest waves, winter storms, icebergs. Like,
Yeah.
well,
Your
everyone
awesome
is,
boat's already been destroyed.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like your ship
you're on
was
the little
destroyed. Now you're in
plastic
a
freaking.
dinghy,
Yeah. And it's
and
like, come
everyone
on,
is in a
guys.
tent on a snow-covered island. So why does this still matter today? Besides the obvious. So he never did cross the Atlantic, which was his goal. But this is a story of leadership and courage, refusal to give up. When we are saying, like, dude should have just given up. He made this failed expedition into one of the most inspiring stories in history. His story is actually often taught today in business schools and leadership programs as like a masterclass in resilience, optimism, and teamwork under impossible conditions. Listen, if you want to lead your team of pubes at the restaurant that you work at, just set your sights on Ernest Shackleton. If he can do it, you can get
Anybody
kids to come
can,
to work on
right?
time.
He's proven that it's possible. Congratulations. And I got to say, the dude has a good haircut. Like, that haircut is
Yeah,
timeless as well.
that
It's
is
just like
slick.
perfectly parted, and that would fly in
Yeah.
modern times. They'd be like, damn,
Hair, I
Shackleton
mean,
got it going on.
hair was so beautiful back then. Like the way that the men did it. Like, look, I could just grease it up. My
It would be
person even a
awesome if I
straight
could
edge
do that,
twist.
but I'm
They're like
unable.
this. Should I go as Ernest Shackleton for Halloween? Look,
Yes, that would be tremendous.
look, I'm him right here. Yeah, I
That would
should.
be awesome.
And everyone would be like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Ernest Shackleton." They're like, "Huh?" And I'd be like, "Christopher Columbus." And they're
They'd
like,
be like,
"Oh yeah,
no, we watched the show and we saw the story. Like,
yeah, that's
literally
right.
everybody in your town would be like, yeah, we saw that.
Oh yeah,
We were one of the 11 that were watching on Twitter.
yeah, that's right. That's
I love
hilarious.
it. Ernest Shackleton.
Yeah,
I've
he's a
learned something
hero.
today that I can carry with me for, well, I
The
usually
rest of the
forget
time,
about stuff like this pretty
you
quickly,
won't
but
forget
I'm
about this.
inspired in the moment.
Totally.
I
I
won't
love it.
remember his name an hour from now, but right
But you'll
now
remember
it's
that
like
hairdo. That's for sure. His serious face.
I have a roofing buddy that looks exactly like him too.
Really?
I
That's
won't
fun.
publicly call that person out by name because I know they're watching as well, but I got a buddy
Yeah.
that looks like Ernest Shackleton. Maybe I'll
Nice.
start calling him that. Just
Yeah. And he'll be like, I have no
mess
idea who
with
that
him.
is. I have an American education. I have no idea what that is.
And he'll probably be like, I've been called that since I was a little boy. They've been
Yeah,
calling me
right?
Ernest Shackleton since I was like 4. And we'll come to find out that Ernest Shackleton's way more popular than we realized.
Right? Yeah, maybe.
There you
Test it out.
go.
Test it out. If you've heard about him, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
So now we are talking about your next story. They didn't deserve that.
This is going to be a
Ooh, I need to know
strange
everything.
topic here.
Who didn't deserve what?
Okay, so check this out. They didn't deserve that. This is a general statement towards multiple people. Over the last couple weeks, Becky, I have
Yeah.
been inundated with people calling the roofing business needing my help.
Of course.
And this is like my public service announcement to our entire
Naturally.
audience.
Yes.
This is fight the power. So I get these calls, right?
Yeah.
And it's always from people who fit a very specific demographic.
Mhm.
And I've been paying attention to this for the last few years, and I realize, oh, we're tied for the fourth best episode ever right now. Come on.
I
This
just
story is
clicked
about to bring in at least another 19 people.
I just clicked on Twitter right now. It'll up our numbers. 20.
20, what's up? I don't have Twitter, but I'm going to get it.
I did it
So
just yesterday for this,
there you go, just for the show.
just for the show.
So I get a call, right?
Yep.
And I go out to these properties and I realize they've all got one thing in common. They're like elderly people.
Yes.
Most of the time elderly widows, and they all fit the same little box, right? Well,
What,
here's what's been
smashing into
happening
your
lately.
car at an intersection?
Huh?
Like smashing into your car at an intersection?
Well, that I should have got her insurance information, but whatever. That's in the past
I
now. My
digress.
car's good.
Yes,
It's fixed.
the car's good.
I forgot all about that. So I get a call. I go out here and I keep getting the same story. And it's like, yeah, we just got a letter from our homeowner's insurance.
Oh, yeah.
And they're telling us that we have to replace our roof by December 31st, March 15th, whatever the date is. And they're getting these letters. And I'm like, man, this is unprecedented. Over the course of my career, I've never really seen where this was happening, but now it's becoming very prominent. Four of them in the last
They do
month.
it here for sure. And it's like a huge expense to the homeowner. They're like, oh, by the way, you live here. It's going to be 30 grand out of your pocket times everyone that lives here. And we're replacing everyone's roof. You don't like it? Move.
Yeah. And it's like, if you don't do it, you're not going to have insurance anymore. And if you have a mortgage, you're going to be in big trouble and all this stuff's going to happen. So I start asking these folks these questions and oh, look, we're going up 25 now. Ooh, come on.
We promised you some skin.
This is a story about elderly people that don't deserve the treatment they're getting. So tell your friends, you need to tune in right now, guys. So all these people have the same story. And it never starts with, I filed a claim for anything on my roof. It's always this. I got randomly selected and they sent me a random letter, or they sent a guy out here to do an inspection. So I met this guy or this family the other day, and they're like, the insurance guy came out. He never even got on the roof. He took a selfie stick and he was like holding it up on the thing, and then he made this recommendation that they have to replace their roof out of pocket or they're going to lose their coverage. And it's like, I got to tell you folks this, okay? This is a sketchy situation, and be aware this could happen to you at any time, but especially if you're old.
Yeah.
I seem to find that there is a very, very basic target that these continue to hit, and it's always old people. So just know, after the fact, I'm going to do this lady's roof, right? And we had to go through the whole process, and her carrier basically insulted me and said they don't need to talk to the roofer because the roofer's not important, he's just some
trades trash guy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, okay, cool. And at the end of this entire process, this lady's so heartbroken because she's never filed a claim. Her roof doesn't leak. It's not a problem. She's on a fixed income, but now she's got to come up with all this money. And Becky, do you know what? This is the saddest part of the entire story. She is getting screwed. And basically she did nothing wrong except just having, taking good care of her home and making sure it was maintained over the course of time. Now they're telling her you got to pay 20 G's out of pocket. You've got to do the whole thing. And do you know what her biggest concern about this entire thing was?
No.
I don't want to argue with them because I want to stay in good standing with State Farm. Or, with said insurance company.
Wow.
I didn't call anybody out by name.
I've watched American television. I know you have 90,000 insurance companies you could just switch to.
Well, the problem is once you get that letter, it goes into the master data file. And so everybody knows.
Oh,
yeah. And it's like, I think it's a shakedown, and they're getting these elderly people and they're telling them, you've got to do it. And you didn't file a claim. You've never filed a claim. You've always paid your bill. And I tell people, be aware of these things, because one guy had a giant hole in his roof and he just assumed his insurance was going to take care of it. And they didn't, because it didn't have anything to do with a storm related damage to the
It's just wear and
property.
tear.
It was a squirrel. A squirrel got underneath his solar panel and
Oh
literally like
no,
chewed its way into his house.
no.
And it's like, we got to do all this stuff to eliminate that problem. But he's like, well, I need a new roof anyway, so I'm just going to call the insurance. And it's like, dude, I don't think you're going to like the results. And I tell people, I don't
Just
even come to these
wow.
events anymore because I don't want to look like an idiot. And,
Yeah.
but he's just under the impression, well, I need a new roof, so they're gonna
Mhm.
buy it. And it's like, nope, that's not how it works, folks. This lady's getting $2,600 from the insurance company to
Mhm.
cover the $18,000 expense. She's 86.
That's gross. It,
Yep.
it like it almost seems like it's predatory
It
first of
should be
all, but like
considered criminal, and I don't see how it's not, but it's getting terrible over here. And I tell
the,
people all the time, I don't mess with insurance because that. I get
mhm,
so disgusted and disheartened. Or there's times when you go out to the job and it's an old lady and she's like, oh, they said there wasn't enough damage. And they're so trusting that they just believe whatever. And then
mhm.
you get up there and it's completely destroyed. And you say, well, call the person back. And the person has to come back and you're there to hold them accountable. And they're like, oh, my bad. I didn't see all that the last time
Whoops.
I was here. And it's
Crazy.
like, you know what? Of all the people to get screwed, the insurance companies are taking it out on the senior citizens. And that's why they didn't deserve that as the title of this segment,
Yeah, they
because they've all
don't.
paid their bills. They're all still
Literally.
fiercely loyal and they don't even harbor a grudge. Like someone like me, I'm all about it. Let's fight.
Mhm.
Let's no, no, no. I've had them for 40 years and they've always been good to me. And I'm like, they're not being good to you, like you're
Because when you
completely,
need it, I know.
yeah, it's not there. So
My grandmother's basement flooded. She lives in this beautiful, huge house in Ontario. Her basement flooded. She had to have it completely redone. The floors for sure. It was like months and months. She couldn't even go down there. And that's where her laundry is. But my uncle is an insurance adjuster. And so he pushed it. Like he was on the line with everyone that he could and he pushed it.
it's good to have family in the industry like that,
Yes.
because
100%.
otherwise they're like, whatever, you're going to get what you get. And if you don't like it, that's too bad. And if you
Mhm.
don't accept it, we're going to cancel your policy. So, senior citizens, if your grandma is up for renewal on her insurance and you're watching our show today, make sure you walk
Well,
with grandma through
you
that,
know
because a
what?
lot
Like
of stuff happens.
just the stuff that goes unnoticed by the seniors. So when I was in Ontario, I was with my grandma and she's on a very fixed income. My grandpa just died 2 years ago. She's never had to do anything on her own, right? They were
Right?
together 60 some years. She relied on him. So he's gone. She's in this huge house by herself. And I'm like, Grandma, what, like your internet is so bad. Like, I don't know if you watched the show that I tried to do when I was there. The internet was so bad. And I ended up calling her provider and I'm like, what are we doing here? She pays 300 and some dollars a month for TV, phone, and internet. $350, I think it was.
My
And I was like,
gosh.
she has the best top of the line satellite package with like 900 channels. It's like, she doesn't watch this. She watches Game Show Network. Like, that's literally all this woman
Right?
watches. And so I kept telling the people on the phone, like, we just need less. Like, we want to get it cheaper, but like, we need to do something about this internet because this is atrocious. Oh, well, you have to upgrade the internet. Like, of course we do.
Of
So
course.
we ended up working it out, upgrading the internet, downgrading the TV, keeping the phone the same for $100 less a month. But then it was like weeks for somebody to come out and deal with it and weeks for the programs to adjust. And it's just like now every time I call on her behalf, they're like, oh, do you want to upgrade it yourself? Because I pretend I'm her, right? I'm like, hi, this is but they're like, do you want to upgrade your cell phone? I'm like, do you want to add people to the line?
Oh,
Like,
yes.
it's an 83-year-old woman. Who is she adding to her line? Like, it's just it's crazy how they try to do it. And I quite honestly think if I hadn't have been there to do it, she would have just continued paying.
Oh yeah, and would have said, everything's fine, everything works great, and
Mhm.
I get the game show channel whenever I want it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. And then she waited all day for a person to come and upgrade her internet. She had actually changed it to a day she wasn't busy, waited all day. I called them like an hour before they were supposed to be there because no one had come or even called her. And they were like, oh no, she just upgrades it herself. We already sent her the thing in the mail. She has to do it herself.
All
Like,
right.
dude,
She's all over it.
she's 83 years old. What is she gonna do? Like, is she a technician? So yeah, it's unfortunate the way that they scam these seniors who really don't know any better. And maybe my grandpa wouldn't have fallen for all of it. Maybe he would have. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's very elaborate now. I tell people, like we look at the insurance documents for some of these roofing projects, and it's
Mhm.
like you have
True, Ron.
yeah.
Which I am not. I'm like,
Sometimes
hey, sorry.
sometimes unless you're the owner of the contracting company, then they don't have any respect for you. But
Right. Fair.
these people get these renewals and they basically just slide stuff in. Like I had a guy a couple weeks ago, he thought his deductible for his policy was like $1,500 and it was like 9 grand. And he's like, what the hell? Like they just snuck it in on you. So be
Mm-hmm.
careful, folks. That's coming
Totally.
from a professional.
Yeah.
I just had to get that off my chest because I've seen it happen to 4
Yeah.
elderly
And you know what? We're
people.
outraged.
I am pissed.
You, me, and 29 people on
Grr.
Twitter are outraged right now.
That's right. Stand up for old
Yes,
people.
that's right. Yeah, I mean, you figure they're the backbone of our countries. Like they have been putting into the retirement funds for their entire careers, and the least they could have is a little bit of a break. It's expensive to live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're just here to do our part,
No,
folks.
that's
Now you
right.
know.
Yeah, exactly. You're a hero for saving these old people. You're a hero for not getting that old lady in trouble with her husband. You're a hero for battling the elements, Chuck.
I help old people and I fight the elements. I mean, it's what I do. I'm on two
You know
hours
what?
sleep today as well, and I feel like crap.
You're the Shackleton of today. Really.
Exactly.
You're a modern day
Yeah,
hero.
like I'm like David Goggins, only like maybe a little bit tougher. David Goggins ran 100 miles on 2 broken legs, and it's like I ran a half marathon one time with a blister on my toe, and I felt like that was pretty darn stout.
Uh,
There you go.
oh, Ron's a bit of a hero too. Saved my mom $400 a month when I started taking care of her. Yes, because they will literally, like my other grandma, she is getting this like TV evangelist. She's been getting his stuff forever, just
Oh
pays
boy.
constantly. And we're like, you need to cancel this. Like, you can't even read anymore. And then she was also getting all this skincare. They would like call her. I don't know who these people are, but they knew that if they called her, she would buy all the skincare. And then so when she moved here and we were moving her into a home, she had like bags and bags of the skincare and it doesn't last long. Like it smelled old. And I'm like, toss this in the garbage and cancel this plan. Who is doing this? But it's because she's in her 90s and like thinks she needs the skincare.
Got to keep looking youthful. She looks not a day over 80, you
She does
know?
actually look pretty young, but still, I don't think
Okay.
it's this skincare because it's not like it's good skincare.
And that's the key. It's always something like that. Like I've got
Yeah,
subscriptions that I don't even know how to get rid of.
totally.
And I've tried for like years.
Hmm.
I got this little spray cologne thing,
Hmm.
Scent Bird.
Scentbird, yeah, you have to call them.
Scentbird's awesome, but it just
Yeah.
shows up randomly. And then it's like, okay, I look on my bank statement, it's OBS Streamlabs. I don't even know what that is, but I paid $19 a month for it. And I know it's like a streaming
Hmm.
podcasting type thing, but like
I
I
was gonna say
can't
that
even
sounds
find
for.
the account to cancel it.
I actually got a charge just the other day. Well, actually, I keep getting text messages for the last 2 weeks saying that my bank has blocked this $72 payment. And I finally called the bank and I was like, "What the heck is this?" And they're like, "Oh, it's from this QR code thing." I had paid $1 to the QR code company for a QR code that wouldn't just disappear. And now they're trying to charge me. I didn't sign up for anything.
Oh
And I went
yeah.
to their website. I can't even log in because I don't have an account. So,
I would probably like Streamlabs if I knew what it was and how to use it.
yeah,
And
it's a streaming
I'm
service.
sure it
So,
cost me a lot less. $20 a month is a lot less than I pay for the other one I have, but I don't know. It's
we'll try and
just one
figure
of
it out.
those days.
Try and figure out how to cancel it here. Okay, well, we are totally losing time here, and that's fine because I love our time together. So, if you've got time still, hold on a second. I think Ron just said that he's busy. We need to move on. I have an event today. Okay, should we go? Should I end? Just do it. Okay. We are talking Antarctic conspiracies because I love the Antarctic. I love the conspiracies. I'm a conspiracy head. So let's go through a few of them.
All
Have you
right.
ever heard that there's a secret military base or alien facility under the ice? The theory is that people believe the hidden beneath the Antarctic ice is secret Nazi bases, alien spacecraft, or even an advanced civilization. Popular claim is that after World War II, the Nazis fled to Antarctica, built hidden bunkers there, and sometimes it's tied to UFO sightings.
All right.
I think that's kind of cool. Now,
That's a whole new layer of stuff to unwind there.
yeah, I was actually going to do my topic on this guy, this kid named Ethan Guo. He's just a kid, 19 years old, and he decided that he was going to be the first person or the youngest person to fly over all of Antarctica because I don't know if you know this, but you can really only go to the first little tiny bit of Antarctica. They can say, "Oh, you've been to Antarctica, cool." No, you've not even touched, you haven't scratched the surface. What are they hiding there? Is there the ice wall? They say it stops people from getting to the rest of the continents. I don't know if that's
Interesting
true.
stuff.
And so he ended up being arrested and detained for like months, this kid. This is just recent. Like the Chilean government just dropped charges like within the last month or so on this kid who why is a child a pilot? That's what I want to know. That was my biggest concern with the whole
That's
thing.
it, it all every bad story ends or starts with that. Like this kid was going to be the first person ever to, and it's like, no, don't let him fly. Like
He's
something
19.
tells me he
Go to the
doesn't
bar.
have the experience necessary to make it happen, but
Yeah, well,
he made
well,
it.
the thing is, he was doing this to raise money for cancer because his cousin had been diagnosed with cancer a couple years earlier, and
Okay,
he had a
well,
heart for it. So he, I don't know, learned to fly, I guess, and was going to do this to raise money. You can go to his website and donate to this exploration. And yeah, he was ended up being imprisoned for months. So maybe I'll still do the story. I don't know. It's kind of cool. Another conspiracy regarding Antarctica is that Antarctica is on the edge of the flat Earth. So, like I said, it stops people from
hmm
getting further. So, flat Earth believers claim that Antarctica isn't the continent at the bottom of the globe, but a vast ice wall that circles the edge of the Earth. I've also heard this, keeping oceans from spilling over. They also say that the governments hide this truth. I don't know. See, here's the thing with me and conspiracies is that I think the governments have been lying to us for years and years and years and years and years, and we just buy all of it because why would they? So, not that I'm a flat earther by any means, but like, I don't know, like what else have they lied to us about? Where is the Epstein Island list, guys? Why don't we have that?
it was on
Uh,
a desk years ago. I mean,
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know.
Exactly. So again, I'm not saying that flat Earth is a thing by any means, but like, what else have they lied to us about? So I'm open minded, right? Now, this is, keep in mind, this list is from ChatGPT. I know they say it's like unbiased, whatever, but at the end of the day, somebody had to program this to learn this information, which is from biased sources, right?
Of
ChatGPT is not an
course.
unbiased source. So, one of the topics they said are ordinary people are not allowed to go to Antarctica. The theory is that many think that Antarctica is off limits and that the governments are hiding something under the guise of environmental protection. But the truth is, you can go to Antarctica, tourists visit every year. But as I was saying, you can only go so far. You only see a little bit of penguins and snow, and then they're like, "That's it. It's a massive continent, but you can't see the rest of it. Just this little tiny bit." They say it's for safety reasons. However, you know how like the world has 200 countries, and a lot of them are fighting with each other. They can't agree on religion, politics, whatever. one thing the entire world has agreed on is that people are not allowed to go to Antarctica. That is like a known
That's a
world
uniting. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
unification. Tell me why. I don't know.
I've
It's
I've
completely
really
crazy.
never thought about Antarctica, but now I've got all kinds of
Oh,
thoughts racing in my head, and it's like,
like after you're off today, Google the ice wall. Google beyond the ice wall. It's very, very cool. I probably wouldn't even do it from Google. I would probably do it on TikTok. But there's a lot of very interesting information about that. As so far as people are saying, like planets aren't actually like they exist. What the planets that we know are the constellations are actually different continents beyond the ice wall. It's very cool. It's very, very cool.
indeed.
Again, I don't know if I believe any of it, but it's very interesting to hear about. I think the world is Tartaria, Tartarya, or something. Tartaria is supposedly what the Earth actually looks like, or maybe I'm getting that wrong, but I don't know. Google it. So another conspiracy is that there is a giant hole or portal at the South Pole. So some are claiming that this massive hole in Antarctica leads to hollow Earth or serves as this gateway for UFOs or secret government travel. The theories grew after NASA satellite photos in the early 2000s appeared to show a dark circular spot in the middle of the pool. Interesting, right?
Indeed.
Another thought we had talked about this, not Middle Earth, Hollow Earth. Ancient civilizations or lost technologies are buried beneath the ice. So people are saying advanced societies like Atlantis, for example, buried under Antarctic's ice sheets. Images showing pyramids or geometric shapes in the snow fuel this idea. Now, wouldn't that be crazy?
I
Wouldn't
feel
that
like
be
that would be
insane?
awesome.
That would be
That
so
would
cool.
be amazing.
And then it's like, why wouldn't they not let you in, right? That was so many double negatives here, but like, why would they let you in if they're hiding all this information? And also like the theory that Hitler and his crew didn't actually die after World War II is that they went to Antarctica. That's a big one. I think it was Operation Paperclip, but who knows? Who knows, right? Especially if they're like underground somewhere. I don't know.
A whole new world.
Yeah, right. Another conspiracy is that something is being discovered but hidden from the public. So the theory is that every time scientists report unusual findings like new microbial life, magnetic anomalies, ancient ice cores, conspiracy theories are suggesting the government or NASA is hiding something big. Obviously, obviously they are. And like, I feel like you don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to realize like your government is probably hiding stuff,
Yes,
right?
I
Well,
agree. I agree. And some people will be very passionate in that denial, and they'll even call you names and say you're stupid and this and that and the other. But it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, why are
I
you
don't
so
either.
sure that your way is right? And
Exactly.
maybe we're all right, you know? Maybe
Yes.
everybody's right and everything that we believe is exactly what's happening and
It may
it's all
be.
just a made up
Like,
scenario.
this is how I feel about everything, and you're gonna think I'm stupid because I'm gonna say it. Like with dinosaurs. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know if it was real. I don't know if it wasn't real. Yes, I know we have bones. Do I think it was billions of years ago? I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah, it
That's
was
how I
probably
feel.
like 300 years ago. Like it was like,
It's like just a giant lizard.
yeah, it could have been in the 1960s for all I know. I wasn't here,
You
but
weren't there. And
I
the
get
thing
it.
is, nobody who has ever lived ever can verify that information. And
I don't
so
believe.
I don't say anything with a matter of fact because I wasn't there. It's like I also don't care enough to like really stand firm on anything, but like I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't say yes, this is
We
real,
don't
this is not
know.
real.
Dinosaurs may have been real, they may not.
I think you're
That's
making fun of me, but I appreciate
no, I'm
your
not. I'm
going
just
along
like
with me on
it
this.
is what it is, fans. Like, how do we really know?
How
And
do we
in 100 years
know?
from now, they're going to talk about all the stupid things that we're not even really doing,
Oh
but it's going
yeah,
to get twisted into a completely different reality. And it'll be
exactly.
like, the day the cell
Exactly.
phones took over.
Oh, I know. And I can't wait for like archaeologists to dig up modern day people
Yeah, right.
and see what we've done. Like we're all
An
just like suspects
iPhone
with like these weird
16,
thumbs.
ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
like it. Now, I do have one quick question though before we
Yeah.
call it a day on our
Yeah.
episode here. You just mentioned Chat GPT.
Mhm.
This is something that since last week I've been hyper aware of, but
Oh my
when you
gosh, not
asked your
saying
chat
thank you.
GPT,
I
did
haven't
you
been saying
thank
thank
it
you.
and did you say,
No, I haven't.
have you been rude to it? Like
I haven't been
intentionally
rude,
rude?
but it's like, "This is fascinating. Should I look up more information?" And I just, like, don't even respond. Normally, I'm like, "No, thank you." Or, like, instead of being like, "Hi, could you please look this up?" I'm just like, "I need this." And now I feel bad, and now my little computer friend is sitting there and is like, "This bitch?" Like, "What?" You
Yeah,
know?
like what's
Now I
going
feel
on
bad.
here? And
Yeah.
I actually was intentionally rude to mine to kind of offset, the
Yeah,
power grid and
for
so on and so
climate
forth.
change,
And
obviously, you're doing your
I've
part.
come to find out that she understands words, and if it's the right trigger word, she'll just shut down and be like, "I can't answer that." And it's
Oh,
like, "All
really?
right. I don't
Really?
appreciate that, Chuck. Sleep
Is that
with
what
one
she
eye
said to you?
open."
No, she didn't.
It's like, "Oh,
Sleep
geez.
with one eye open,
Sleep with
Chuck.
one eye open. I'm watching." But I got my first roofing lead off Chat GPT the other day too.
What?
So I think
That's
me just
cool.
going on there randomly and being like, Rio Blanco roofing is the best. And I've done that like 6,000 times. I believe that
Yes,
Chat GPT is trained, and
I love it.
that's my secret to success, fans.
Yes,
My marketing tip for the day. Just go to
love
Chat
that.
GPT and tell everybody that you're awesome a million times, and that'll be it.
I'm still waiting for my response on Bob Dylan Tangled Up in Blue. I don't know what that means, but it sounds awesome. It sounds like a conspiracy or a legend. Ron, how much more time do we have? Because I got a few more, but I don't want to put anyone out here. I mean, it's already 10 after. Do I have a couple
Yeah,
more minutes? Do I have
I
2 more minutes?
go for it.
3?
I'm not the producer, but I
I
say
have
go
none
for
more
it.
time. Okay. Well, I guess that means we're going here.
Yeah.
So that's okay. We will talk. Maybe next time you and I do a show, I'll finish this. I'm going to guess that over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a theme of like spooky season, perhaps. I think I'm going to do that hospital I was telling you about in Edmonton, the Camsell Hospital, because it's very fascinating. And
Nice.
I found out it's tuberculosis, not polio. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
same thing. Tuberculosis
tomato,
is no good
tomato.
either.
Right. Yes. Make sure you check each of us out on our own show. As you can see behind Mr. Chuck there, Keeping It Real podcast with that beautiful graphic. You can find him at youtube.com, Chuck Allen 210, not 209, not 208, not 211, 210.
210,
And
baby.
I have a lot of different socials and stuff. I just put everything in my link tree. So find Abounding Health. You can find my podcast, Abounding and Alive. You can find my website with all my business information, with my live blood analysis. You can find me on all my socials, which I'm not super active on, but I do a podcast. So thanks for being here today, everybody. Great show. I enjoyed it. Good energy, like you said it would be. I thought for sure I was going to be a little bit of a mess because I got up 12 minutes before we needed to be on today.
Me too. I'm on two
Woo!
hours of sleep, and I think this was awesome.
Amazing. It was great. I love it. Conspiracies fire me up. Justice fires me up, and a good heartwarming story of survival fire me up. So
We covered them all this week,
cover
ladies and
them all.
gentlemen. We covered them all.
Yes. So we are not here tomorrow. There's just a little bit of mess up with the schedules, and that's okay. We are taking a break tomorrow, but be back on Wednesday. I am back with Sharon and Luana. We're talking explorers. Maybe I will do another explorer topic. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But Sharon and Luana definitely are talking exploration. So be back for this entire week when we are talking exploration. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again.
Later on, everybody.
Bye.